Good evening. Welcome to the Municipality of Murraysville Planning Commission meeting, November 14th, 2023. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Lemke, Mrs. Hoy,
Yes, here.
Mr. Midal, Mr. Patrick,
Here.
Mr. Olszewski,
Here.
Mr. Kearns,
Here.
Mr. Levecki.
Here.
We've got the meeting minutes from October the 10th. Any comments or questions?
I move they be accepted as written.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have a period for public comment. Anybody from the public that wants to make a comment? Okay. Okay. Are these comments on agenda items or not agenda items? Agenda. Okay. You want to wait till we get to that agenda item to comment? Yeah. Okay. Very good. Our first item of business is old business. This is consider a recommendation for approval of SP 323, Choice Properties, 5690 William Penn Highway, B, business zoning, for an addition to an existing building, tax parcel 4915000187, B, business zoning. Representing?
Edward Patton, Patton Engineering LLC, 802 Emerald Drive, New Kensington, PA 15068.
Okay. Jim, I believe we had some outstanding items on this one?
Yes, there was a briefing sent forward to Mr. Patton with certain items that were missing from the original review. We received an update from Mr. Patton, and that's currently under review now to make sure that they were all the requirements were met.
Okay.
I cannot at this point say that they have. The review has not been completed. If Planning Commission wishes to move this on to council for consideration, I would suggest you do so with the condition that the items on the review have been completed and accepted.
Okay. Anybody on the Planning Commission have any questions?
You're going to present the items that needed taken care of?
We've submitted them for review. We're committed to making sure all the comments are addressed completely and acceptable. I think there are a couple items that are being held to council, one of them being parking. Mm-hmm. We've additionally shown some alternate additional parking to compensate for some of the parking as discussed in the comments we received. So we'll leave it up to council to make that decision.
All right. Anybody comments? Want to make a motion?
What are the big issues on this?
Yes.
I've highlighted them on the briefing for Planning Commission. Some had to do with stormwater management, as Mr. Patton had said, the issue with the parking, the aisle width and the depth of the parking space, and the use of the pumps as parking. As Mr. Patton said, that will have to be resolved at the council level. The other items were just minor review items. Some had to do with getting the appropriate permits and contacts of the utilities. As I said, we had received that yesterday and is being reviewed at this time.
What about the glazing issue, Jim? That was mentioned in the minutes, the glazing?
I believe the building's to be brick to match the existing brick.
Correct.
And that there was glazing on the rear of the building that was requested not to be met because it was hidden by the hillside and trees.
All right. Anybody care to make a motion or?
I'll move that we forward on to council with the comments that Jim outlined, that the review has to be satisfied. So basically, we're moving on to council SP 323 Choice Properties, 5690 William Penn Highway, business district zoning, and that's it.
Okay.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you. Next item we have is new business. This is to consider acceptance of the site plan SP 423, CU 223, and S 823, Caliber Collision, 6037 William Penn Highway. This is a proposed 12,476 square foot auto repair center and the subdivision of 8.83 acres into 2 lots. Anyone representing Caliber
They
Collision?
chose not to attend this evening.
Okay.
Because it was only acceptance of the application. They'll be at the December meeting.
Okay, so we're just going to table this.
No, we can
can
accept
accept
the
it?
application.
All right, can I have a motion to accept this application, please?
So moved?
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
There may be audience input at this
Any
point.
comments on this Caliber Collision? Okay, the first person I have here, and if this isn't about Caliber, let me know, Joseph Kiram, Kiray, 6995 Berkshire Drive, 15632. Sir,
Hi.
hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Okay,
I'm Joe Correa. I live on Berkshire Drive.
okay,
My property overlooks the corner of Berkshire and Route 22. And my home office is up on the second floor, and I can look out at the corner there where the police sit on the divider every
Right.
day and catch speeders every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes, all day long, like 7 days a week.
right,
When they pull out, they have their siren going, they're pulling out fast, and you can see many times there's almost a collision, and our neighbors can be in the right-hand lane, and they can get squeezed in. And if there's a tow truck, which to the entrance to this property is less than a block away, if there's a tow truck with a car pulling in there, that'll add additional confusion, and I would hate to see a police officer or some family member get killed because of the traffic coming down there at 80 or 90 miles an hour, which they do.
right.
So that is one reason why I'm opposed to this shop going in there. My realtor, when I bought my house 20-some years ago, also said no one would ever build behind my house. It's a township park that goes clear down into Murraysville, where all the natural animals live, and they have a natural habitat. And never thought about this 10 acres or whatever it was. I didn't know who owned it or anything. But they said it would never be built. Now you're talking, according to my neighbor, was telling me they're planning on putting a pond, which would be behind my house, which would be a mosquito trap. Why do I want that? Why do you want that? And who's going to control the chemicals that you'd have to put in there to get rid of any type of mosquito infestation? Also, wildlife would be unprotected, and they're talking about running a sewer line, he tells me, from the shop all the way down through the park, all the way down into Murraysville, which is going to carry paints, vapors, even though it'll be enclosed, if it ever erupts, the damage that it would do, who would take care of that damage? My property value, I just had my home appraised. Property value, I would think if this went in, would be severely depreciated. I would not have bought my home if that body shop had already been there. And I think I'd have trouble selling it if there's a big 12,000 square foot body shop with lights, noise, dust, vapors. And then there was a home about 5 years ago on the property that they buried. I didn't know that they had buried the house. And it was probably built in the 60s or 50s, which means there's asbestos in that house underground. And when they go in there and start digging, all the asbestos will be emitted into the atmosphere. So I think you need to get the EPA out here and have them check it out. And that's another reason that it shouldn't be built.
Okay. Anything further?
Let me think here. The noise, the light, the vapors. My one neighbor has Lou Gehrig's disease. That would be a terrible thing for him. My other neighbor has COPD, heart problems. Ambulances are there every other week for one or two of the other ones. So this should not be allowed, and it's it's a residential area, it's one of the higher residential ends in Murraysville, 700 and some houses in that development. Why would we destroy it with some auto body shop? That's what I have to say, and thank you.
Very good, sir.
Okay.
The next name I have is Joanne Hunter. Oh, okay, very good. Ed Bacher.
Boucher.
Say that again?
Ed Boucher.
Boucher. Pardon me for,
No problem. Everybody in Western.
sir, you live at 6997 Berkshire Drive.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I'm Joe Curry's neighbor, and like he said, we have concerns. My wife is not here today. She's wheelchair bound, but she has a lot of health issues, including asthma and that. And like Joe said, we're concerned about vapor fumes and stuff. I know they're putting a pond in there. I also expressed my concern to Joe about mosquitoes in that little catch basin, which we're calling the mosquito pond. So we have that concern as well. I also have a comment related from the Murraysville Star on zoning, and you take another look. And in particular, Ms. Corns said one of the town's best zoning features is its mixed-use district where smaller businesses can be intermingled with residential properties. I would not have bought my house either if I knew that there was a business such as the Caliper body shop that's going to go in next door. I think the only reason they're putting that there is because they tried to buy Conley's and he said no, and so they're putting that there. And there's also that driveway that's going to be opened up for trucks bringing cars in for repair. Is real close to our exit from the plan where we turn onto, and we're looking down the left, and we're not watching. If there's a truck stopped there ready to turn in, that could be an issue.
Okay.
The township has made some drawings for me, and I've made lots of comments and stuff like that. I don't intend to go over them now until, if this gets approved, then I'll go over that with
Okay.
contractor or whatever. Again, we have some health issues and property values concerns.
All right.
And that's really all I have for.
Very good, sir. Thank you for your time. Troy Smith. Certainly. You are Cynthia Smith, and you live at 69, is that 88?
6999.
6999 Berkshire Drive.
So yes, we are Troy and Cynthia Smith, and we purchased our home 12 years ago, and it's a beautiful place back there. But the problem is this place that's going to go in there, or supposedly going in there, it's going to be right out our back porch. I mean, we're used to seeing trees, animals, so on and so forth, and we're gonna just see a body shop. I mean, which is ridiculous. I mean, to have that body shop there is why it's there. I don't know. I don't know why they would want to build there. You know, there's a meteor down the middle of the street, and I know why. Like Ed said, about Conley's across the street, I know that they tried to buy it. But to have that right in our backyard, we're mostly affected.
Yeah.
You know, Ed and Joe, they live next to us. We're going to be looking straight out into this business, you know, and I don't know about y'all, but I mean, if it was your house, I'm sure you wouldn't want a business right in your backyard. Not when you're not used to that. And for, like these guys said, I would have never purchased this house, ever, if we would have known that.
And we've put a lot of money into our home.
You know, we take pride in our home, and to look out and see that every day is just, it's not acceptable. I mean, I have nothing against Caliber, but their choice of putting this right behind a residential area is just beyond me.
Okay.
What else? Well, yeah, Joe mentioned that. I mean, there was a house there, which I don't understand when this, was it ever residential or was it always commercial?
Jim, the zoning on this parcel is now business, correct?
That's correct.
And it's part of the overlay district.
Um, I'm not certain of the date, but I would pretty much assure you that it was more than 12 years ago.
Well, there was a house back there with people living in it.
Well, that's okay. That it would have been a non-conforming use,
Right.
zoned as a business district.
We can find out how long it's been business.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Well, and we're worried about, when they start construction of this, number one, our privacy's gone. I mean, literally, it's out our backyard.
It really is, it's right
So
here.
we have a problem with the privacy part of it, plus the dust, the dirt, the noise, when they're gonna build this thing. I mean, is there any anticipation of when they're gonna start or how long they're gonna take to build it?
Well, this is just the preliminary
Understand.
planning.
Didn't know if they've submitted that or not, like how long it would take.
I don't know the answer to that
No,
question.
they have not.
Right.
Because every day, we're gonna just sit there and hear the noise and I mean,
The lights, oh my, the dust.
it's literally, I mean, I don't know if you guys know where we live, but I mean, it's
Sure.
literally out our back porch.
Right.
Our property ends, and then they, with the plans that we saw, they have like 20 feet, and then they're gonna put bushes,
I mean, if
and
it,
there's really no privacy. I mean, even if they put this building there, we're gonna look at it every day. I mean, I don't know if there's a possibility, if this gets approved, that, they could submit some kind of plan to put a big privacy fence up there or whatever, so we're not looking at this every single day,
Okay.
And I too think that our property value is definitely gonna be affected by this building in the backyard.
are
Anything else, honey?
are the owners gonna be at the next meeting in December? That's what you said?
The representatives of the developer will be here at the next meeting,
And is that set for,
December, second Tuesday in December.
Second Tuesday.
And then we can go over everything we have here, right?
You can present it at the public meeting, yes,
Yeah, second Tuesday's the 12th.
or 12th, I'm sorry.
Is it already gonna be approved by that?
No,
No.
no, you'll be able to listen to their explanation of what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, what landscaping, what lighting. We do have an ordinance in Murraysville that any lighting that's in a business district can't overflow to residential. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to see light out the back of your house, but the light will not impact your house, is the way our ordinance is written.
this whole thing's gonna impact our house. I mean,
Our life, because we're in our yard all the time. We have a fire pit back there. We have fires, we have friends over. It's really gonna kind of ruin our social life, our family.
well, it's just shouldn't be there.
Okay.
And, I just don't understand why they would put it there. I mean, does anybody have an explanation of that?
Well,
Put it right
I don't have an explanation, but apparently they are the property owner. It is zoned business, and they have the right to develop
I understand that.
their property, So how long it's been business, I can't tell you. We can find that out.
No.
Okay, very good.
We did try to purchase that from the owner, but he
They
said
wouldn't
that he
separate it.
wouldn't, he said, we're not gonna separate the nine, I think they have 9.5 acres.
9.2 acres.
8.8, I think.
And they only sold
Oh,
them
is it,
two.
what is it?
I think it's
8.82.
8.83.
Okay.
According to the
When I called the
application.
real estate agent, they said 9.2 acres or something, but it
Yeah.
doesn't matter, that's close enough.
Right.
But I inquired about it over a year ago, and they wouldn't separate the property then. I mean, if I could have bought at least an acre or two back there, then it would have been a different story.
Right.
They'd have been pushed on further, but
Right, well, thank you for bringing this
Thanks
to
for
our
listening.
attention. And that's all I have on the community input sheet. Anybody else? Okay. We want to consider acceptance of this?
I would, the way the agenda item reads is consider acceptance. If planning commission is not of the mind to accept, then the vote would be no when the motion is made.
Okay,
So the motion would be made, consider acceptance of SP 523, and then if it's not ready to be accepted based on the recommendation of staff, then the vote would be no.
And what is the staff's recommendation?
The staff's recommendation, it is not ripe at this point.
All right, very good. Can I have a motion to accept SP 423, CU 223, and S 823, Caliber Collision, 6037 William Penn Highway?
So moved.
Hold on a second.
Wait,
Tim,
wait.
you said staff is not recommending.
not
That's
recommending.
correct.
Staff
So
is.
your vote would be no.
So they're missing.
would be no.
So they're missing items in their application. that you
Yes.
f- Okay.
Yes.
That's why I just wanted to-
There's
You're not
some
gonna accept.
outstanding issues. It was submitted as a Phase 2. There was no master plan on Phase 1.
Wait, that's Summer Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
talking about Caliber.
Oh, Caliber, I'm sorry.
Caliber.
Yes, Caliber can be accepted.
Caliber
Okay,
can be accepted.
Yes.
Okay.
It's complete.
Okay, that's why I
I'm
was.
sorry.
I was looking.
I want to get out of here too, Jim. That's
Your
it.
direction. All right, so we do have enough information to just accept the application.
That's
That doesn't
correct.
mean anything's approved. That just means that we're going to review it and look at it. You understand? Okay. Now, do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Very good. Okay. The next item of new business, this is to consider acceptance of SP 523. This is the Summer Hill Place Phase 2, which is a 61-unit townhouse development on 22.8 acres, tax parcel 4906000999, and this is in the R3 residential zoning. Anyone from Summer Hill here? Okay. Sir? Name, rank, serial number?
Name is Jeff Parabek, P-A-R-O-B-E-K, with Ascent Consulting and Engineering, 1700 Anmore Road, Bridgeport, West Virginia,
Okay.
26330. So we had submitted this as a second phase of Summer Hill development. This phase essentially was approved for 94 units, residential units. What was actually developed out there was 40 units less than that. 50 units were built, 44 less. And so we were proposing 61 units in the back half of this. Part of the original approval was for 2 10-unit apartment buildings, another group of townhouses, and so those would be eliminated and replaced with duplexes, 2, 3, and 4 unit townhouse type buildings.
Okay. Jim, I see that we don't have a planning module. And one of the questions was, this is identified as Summer Hill Phase 2. Do I understand that there was no master plan?
That's correct.
Now, when he talked about previously this had been approved for 90 units, is that what I heard you say?
Summer Hill was approved for 94. I
Summer
believe.
Hill?
Yeah.
We need to take a look at that.
Yeah, we have the approved site plan, the original approved site plan here. What they're proposing to develop was not part of that approval.
Okay. So this has been a change, so it's really not going to be Phase 2?
This would be a de novo application. Either preliminary or preliminary and final subdivision application.
Okay.
And development.
I understand there's some outstanding items, no planning module. There's no information submitted. The proposed development is in conformance with the approved master plan. There's no environmental impact statement submitted as part of the application. No evidence provided the developer has access to the proposed site by way of a private road. Do you want to address any of those items tonight?
Actually, in the Sixth Amendment to the condo, that provided for access through the existing roadways through the condominium association into this back portion for future, as well as for maintenance and of the stormwater management facility to be used for both.
Okay. Considering that we have so many outstanding items here, I don't know if this is ready for acceptance. I think that we need to get the ducks in a row. Jim, what's your
Yes,
thoughts?
the land development application is not complete. It's
Okay.
not ready for review.
Okay. So we need to,
So I guess there's some questions on the type of let's start from the beginning here on the
Yes.
type of application, correct?
Yes.
Like this was submitted as a final, like it was originally part of a master plan approval, which I don't think it is,
That's
Correct.
based on what I'm hearing.
right,
So it would need to come in as a
A new,
preliminary,
Preliminary
final, brand
application.
new preliminary/final or preliminary land development plan.
that's correct.
okay. So they would need to refile.
That's correct.
Is that understandable? Ma'am, you had something you wanted to say? Okay, what's your name?
My name's Joanne Hunter.
Joanne Hunter, 3838
Yeah,
Goldie
Goldie
Lane.
Lane. Yeah, I've had the privilege of working with Gary and the team for some time, so I enjoy living there. And the original plan, as stated, was for 94 units. And I think we have 50 there plus the 4 that you built now, right? So, and I think even that you all, I was taking a look at the meetings that you had in September, and I do believe there was some ad hoc conversations afterwards, that 61 units is a lot to have there for just one road. And now I know that we gave control of the easement agreement was signed by the developer. This was really before we even had a board that had control of the property. So I think that might need to be taken into consideration. But it sounds that there's going to be new plans presented that we can look at, but certainly 61 units to have one access road back there, it's very challenging.
Concerning.
And like I said, I think when I even listened to your commentary in September, you'll have to go back and listen to it. You know, basically you said as homeowners, we have no choice, but I think we do. And, you know, we just need to look at the number of units that are proposed.
All right.
That's really the concern.
Any other questions, comments at this time? So we decided that this is not, sir,
That's the recommendation.
you need to come up to the microphone, please.
Hold on, you can go there.
My name's Gary Hall. I'm with Summerhill Development.
Gary Hall?
Gary Hall, H-A-L-L.
Okay, very good.
And this final part of this, which will have to be another subdivision, and that's fine. But there is a lower section of this, which there were 28 approved units on already that were not built. That's part of this 61 unit.
Were they the same kind of units, or were they the apartment buildings?
There were townhouses and apartments.
Townhouses and apartments, and these are going to be duplexes?
That's part of the master plan. These will be duplexes and townhouses.
Okay.
Okay, the apartments are something we prefer not to build. We can if that's what it boils down to, but that's not our goal. Just not the right product for Murraysville. Okay, I wasn't here when the original plan was done. I wasn't working with Kevin at that time. You know, in Pittsburgh that works, Cranberry that works, Murraysville not so much.
So I understand this correctly, this property in that master plan, the original master plan, called for 28 units to be here?
The balance of the property that is part of 61 units was 28 approved units, yes.
Okay, it was on this property that you're looking to develop right now, okay. So there's actually only an additional 33.
I'll bring it up.
Got it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Wait, you have to,
I'm just trying to understand.
you have to speak into the microphone.
Okay, so,
that
yeah, so,
everybody.
so the original plan, what you're saying, Gary, then, is 94 units. There was also approval for an additional 28?
No.
Is this, the way this was marketed for 94 units?
Can I come up with Joanne?
Yeah, come on up.
Sure, you just, the reason you have to speak into the microphone is
Yeah.
because people at home watch us.
They can't hear, yeah.
And they need to be
Yeah.
able to hear you too.
She's showing a marketing piece that has the 94 units on it from the original. Okay, what we're talking about is this 10-unit building, this 10-unit building, and this building are not built.
Okay,
Those are the units I'm talking about, the 28 units.
Okay,
And that
that's all I
was
need to
part of
know.
it. That was part of the,
okay, that's
Okay.
all I need to know. Yeah, thank you. Question asked and answered, thank you.
Thank you. Jim, any other comments?
No, not this.
So the planning, as far as the sewage planning module, do you need a full planning module through Plum Borough for where this is connecting and draining to? Do you know that answer?
Yes, we will need full planning module.
Okay.
Well, I guess we have to consider acceptance of this, but it sounds to me as though it's not quite ready. Do I have a motion?
Can I ask a question? Doesn't acceptance start a clock?
Yes.
So it's not in their interest to start the clock, I wouldn't think.
I don't.
That's correct.
I don't believe it is. Is that so you guys understand? All right. Do I have a motion
So moved.
to
To accept the,
not accept?
well, to not accept, yeah. Okay.
Not accept. So we don't start the clock.
Right.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you very much. Jim, any other business we need to attend to?
It's going to be a busy December.
Okay. What's coming up in December?
I believe Mr. Fashon will be in December. We'll have Caliber.
I just saw his father's obituary in the paper, 102.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. And we'll have, I don't know if we'll have anything by December for Summer Hill or not.
Okay. Very good. Well, do I have a motion to close the meeting?
I'll make a motion that we close the meeting.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much for coming.